What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chat on the Mat. I'm here today with three guests today. We've got Mondo, Eddie, and CJ. We're going to talk about some things that are on our radar as Eddie approaches his fight week already. So just a couple, we'll take a couple minutes here and introduce these two new guests first. Who wants to go first?
CJ.
All right, so hey guys, I'm CJ. So I guess do I just talk about victory?
Whatever you want. How'd you get into martial arts and how'd you come to victory?
Got into martial arts really just trying to see what I'm physically capable of. Came to victory about maybe smooth over a year. So kind of new to martial arts, but I'm ready to go very far and see how far I can go really.
So you've only been training for about a year?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice.
Sweet, and you've already been competing already within that year. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got a knockout already.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a flex right there. Yeah.
I try.
Yeah.
Eddie, go ahead.
My name is Edward Baena. I've been training since when I was 4. I started off with Taekwondo, became national champion when I was 9. Yeah, when I was 9 for black belts. And let's see. Stopped training Taekwondo when COVID came around. My school closed. So I stopped and then transitioned to kickboxing. Later joined Victory at early 2022. Started fighting that September. Then got some title fights. Now I'm a 4-time Muay Thai champion. So I got my fight coming up soon, September 13th, and I'm ready for my 5th title now. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Eddie the champ. So what I want to talk about today, guys, is what I want to start with is really how martial arts has improved your life. And honestly, it's made a tremendous impact on my own life in more ways, in multiple different ways, So I just kind of want to talk about how on your own journey, on your own path as men, as martial artists, how has martial arts affected your life physically, mentally, and emotionally? I'll have Mondo start with that one.
Yeah, so I'll start with emotionally. So emotionally, I feel like a lot of people will get kind of worked up about different things. I feel like it's a good way to have me let out my aggression, let out my anger, and just kind of be more of a chill guy, as opposed to how people get mad at everything and everything like that. Physically, man, I think it's super important to take your physical health as serious as you can, because you see people get to a certain age and they're just kind of slowly drifting away and fading. So I feel like, just working out, eating right, and training, I feel like, physically I couldn't be in better shape. And then the last one, mentally, right?
Yep.
Mentally, I feel like challenges that come into my life, I feel like I'm more prepared to deal with them, as opposed to maybe if I didn't have such adversity that I chose to go about on my own, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have the mental strength to deal with some of these challenges that come in my life.
Absolutely. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. So for all three, I definitely would say 2 words that come to my mind is resilience and endurance. So emotionally, there's a lot of things as humans, we're all entitled to our emotions.
Yeah.
So just even understanding the fact that sometimes things can make you mad, things can irritate you, sad. No matter what it is, martial arts has really laid a foundation for keeping it all under control. Understanding that those emotions are going to come, but able to keep it in a controlled manner. Mentally, able to go about certain things and how I look about certain things, knowing that it may seem bleak or seem hard in certain aspects of my life, but knowing that I chose MMA as a sport is difficulty is kind of the aspect of it's hard. So when anything mentally comes up, I know that I can handle it because I put myself through a lot of different things, whether it's with grappling, striking, that has all changed mentally for me to know that I can overcome a challenge mentally. Right. And then physically, certain things in life, I see a lot of people get hurt or just with, I would consider minor things, but training this type of sport just helps me build that type of durability physically, being able to do the things that I want to do, not having my health hold me back in my younger years. And then, as Mondo mentioned, getting older, that I'll be able to continue to do the things that I want to do, even when I go up there in age. So just a big thing of resilience, endurance, and just continue to just thrive and push myself further and further in my life.
Yeah,
It's really well said.
yes. Well, mentally, martial arts has helped me a lot with confidence and being more disciplined. Especially, I'm here, especially in camp, I'm trained 4, 5, 6 times a day. I mean, a day, my bad. A week, that'll be too much right there. I'll be overtraining. No, a week. But that's really helped me a lot mentally because I would never thought that I could do, 2, 3 hour sessions, in the gym, at home. It comes with, not just, doing cardio. It's cardio, lifting, diet. It comes with everything mentally. It's a lot of discipline that it comes with, especially now that I'm cutting weight now. I need to be very disciplined on my diet. Drinking a gallon of water a day and all this. Physically, it's helped me a lot, as in like myself, how you guys have mentioned, like when in my older years, I don't want to be slowing down. I want to keep myself, from becoming slower, and I just want to have good physical health there. But sorry, what was the other question?
Just physically, mentally, emotionally, and then that was it.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Very good. Yeah. For me, I think I have always been a small kid and just small person in general. So really, it has tremendously helped me just feel better about myself. After having had so many years of training, it just changes the way you, view the world, and it changes the way the world views you because you carry yourself a different way. When I was, before training, I was just not confident. I was just scrawny little kid walking around getting bullied. And then literally the months immediately after I started training, I just walked around with this confidence and this belief in myself. And through that, I started changing the way people saw me. And that's just a phenomenal feeling, being able to go from, the victim to the victor in a sense. And mentally and emotionally, it's just like CJ said, the resilience. That's the biggest thing I think you get out of martial arts, resilience. And in psychology, we always say that resilience is the key to success, because for example, if a kid is abused, right, and they don't have resilience, they're less likely to be successful in their future, right? If those kids that have faced adversity at a young age, if they don't have resilience, they just don't see success. The kids that have resilience, they always end up successful. Why? Because they find a way. They overcome, no matter what the adversity is. And I think that's the beauty of martial arts. It's that you can be on the mat getting smashed. Your fists are coming at your face and you're bleeding, everything sucks. And then you shake it off, you get back up, and maybe today's not your day, but next time you come in, you know what, you did a little bit better. And you overcame that. And then the next time you train with that partner, now you get the one up on them. And that little bit of resilience, that adversity, that applies not just on the mats, but off the mats too. And I think that's the beauty of it,
Yeah, I think there's something that's like, something different about when you walk into a room and you're kind of like, you don't have anything to worry about, in a sense. You know what I mean? You kind of walk in there and you're just yourself, unapologetically yourself. That's why I feel like it brings out that true form of yourself, martial arts.
Absolutely. That confidence, that unshakable confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like in resilience, how you guys have said. I mean, I've had tournaments. I'm pretty sure, you've had tournaments. We've all had fights. We're not all perfect. We all lose. So that has, losing teaches us, like how to overcome the fear of losing, and how to be more mentally prepared, physically prepared. That's all about resilience. So martial arts has really helped all of us with a bunch of mental stuff.
Now you brought up winning and losing. Let's dive into that a little bit. So obviously, like you said, we've all had a little bit of our taste of competition experience. I've had more competition experience on the grappling side. Amando, you had what did you have recently?
Boxing match, what was it, kickboxing?
Kickboxing, what was that, about a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago, yeah.
And then CJ just had his first competition, first striking match. How long ago was that now? 2 months?
Yeah, about.
About 2 months. And Eddie's on his 5th belt now.
5th belt.
So
Wow.
we all had a taste of competition. One thing I wanted to kind of dissect is how do you handle the wins? How do you handle the losses? I'll kind of start on that, and then we can just kind of chip off of each other here. I think the wins are like sugar. It's like candy. It's like so sweet the minute you get it, but the longer you hang on that, it's just like, you get too much. And if you have too much sugar, it ain't good for you.
Yes.
It's like that dopamine rush of like, boom, you win that match, and if you stay on that high for too long, it just becomes dull. You gotta move on to the next thing. I honestly almost prefer losing. I don't know about you guys, but it's like, there's so much more development that comes through losing than through winning, I feel. I vividly remember some of the matches that I lost because they just stick with me so much better. Whether it's because I was frustrated or because I knew if I just made this small adjustment, I could have gotten it. I don't remember all my wins. Like, some of those wins are just gone. No memory of them, even though they were probably phenomenal matches and whatnot. But I feel like there's more growth in loss than winning. You know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I like what you said, that like you don't really remember your wins. I mean, unless you like absolutely destroyed the guy, but like the losses are really what have stuck with me. And right now I'm thinking about like back to my wrestling days, freshman year. I remember losing for the first time, and I was like destroyed. You know what I mean? Like it sucked so bad. I never wanted to lose again.
Yeah.
So that's why like losing is just as important as winning, because it really does drive you towards like, I never want to feel like I lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even like losing, there's two different ways to look at it. And I was a kid when I like remember this feeling. But like now when I lose, like you said, like I don't feel like I lost. I feel like I learned, you know? So yeah, losing, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Denny said, like winning is like sugar. If you have too much, and if you like, you know, you get overconfident. Like I won my first 3 fights. I lost my 4th fight by split decision. I feel like a big part of that was being overconfident, way too overconfident. My first fight, mentally, I wanted to prove everyone what I could do, so I did well. Second fight, it was 3 months after, and I still had, you know, that ego that I had that ego. I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. Turns out that fight was harder, you know, like eventually I won the fight in the 3rd round. I ended it, but it was a tough fight for me. I feel like my diet wasn't right. It was just so many things that just played together that, you know, just made me not how I was on my first fight.
Yeah.
3rd fight, I won by, I think it was 1st round. But that's what made me even more confident, was the 3 knockouts in the row. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing in my 4th fight. You know, I trained hard and all, but I just got very overconfident. I feel like that's something that really helped, you know, that made me, you know, like lose by split decision, you know. And then losing that match really was something for me. You know, I felt terrible, obviously. Like, none of us like to lose, you know. I've lost many times before in Taekwondo, many times. But when it comes to like Muay Thai, you know, in front of everyone, I never lost like that. And I lost, you know, it hurt. But, you know, after seeing the footage, I'm like, I did not fight how I fight. I was just so in my head, you know. So that loss right there helped me a lot, mentally and physically, to be better prepared for the next fight, which was last year, and I did really well. And I have that same mentality for this fight. I feel like, it doesn't matter who's in front of me. I just need to be the best version of myself, mentally and physically, like when it comes to anything. So for this fight, I'm feeling ready. I feel, you know, not too overconfident, not too this, you know, but, you know, I feel good.
Oh,
Yeah, and even with the wins and the losses, the wins, saying it's like sugar, it's something that I continue to hear, especially with people that have more experience than me, about keeping the wins in the right place. Because I've lost in other endeavors in life, but differently when it comes to martial arts. But understanding the fact that it's okay to celebrate the win and enjoy it for the time being, but then once that time is over, it's time to move on and go on to better things. So even with my last fight, just understanding the fact that, okay, I won, I was able to enjoy it, but it's not about, even when I go back and look at the footage, it's never to, I don't even really look at the second round when I knocked him out, but it was really just the first round and what I can do better, what I could defend against. So just still even taking that win, Eddie mentioned it earlier that we're not perfect. So understanding that we're not perfect, we always have rooms to improve. So that's something that I'm trying to incorporate, even going through the fight and say, okay, defense was a little lacking here, probably could have performed better offensively here. Just taking it down and breaking it down to understand that just because I won doesn't mean I accomplished it perfectly. And then when it comes to the losses, understanding that they're going to come, because especially when it comes to striking, it only takes that one punch, and anybody can get that one punch through.
Yes.
So just understanding that you have to always be aware that someone is out there is that you're going to fight has the exact same dedication as you, is in the gym just like you, has the same dreams as you. So it's just at that point to understand that that loss can come, but when it does come, not to let it really kill you, but just allows you to grow with it.
Yes. I have a question for you guys. So since you guys have all competed, do you guys feel like when you guys compete, in front of everyone in the crowd, do you guys perform the same? Or do like the nerves get you, or does anything get you? Or do you perform better? Do you guys perform, like not how you guys, want to perform?
I feel like for me, I mean, this is just personally what I do, is I kind of like put on an alter ego, kind of, where I'm like, I'm not really me. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got to get yourself in that zone, and it's like, you have to think, it's either you or it's me. So it's kind of like a primal kind of thing. And like I said, like you have to remember those losses and remember those wins. And it's like, which one do you want at the end of the day? So that's kind of where my head goes. And I'm not just solely focused on winning, but just making sure that I'm as equipped as I could be to go in there.
Yeah, I feel kind of like Mano said, you have to get into this alter ego, which I really, really struggle with, because I'm just me, and I'm the same person everywhere I go. So I really struggle clicking into that, like different, like competition mindset, if that makes sense. With that said, though, that at the same time that kind of fuels my performance, because I'm like, I know who I am, and I know what I appear to as other people. Especially when I was like wrestling in high school and stuff, I loved being the underdog and loved being the person that people would count out. Because then I'd be like, now I'm going to show you guys. Now I'm going to show you guys what's up. And I remember this one match. I was probably wrestling 106. It was this black kid. He was, I don't know what weight he cut from, but he was just swole. And I was like, this kid is not 106.
Yeah.
But somehow I'm facing him. And I remember being like scared. I was like, uh-oh, this one's going to be tough. But at the same time, I had that voice in my head, like, everybody's doubting you right now. Everybody wants to see you lose. And I'm like, I'm not going to let that happen. So round one, he ragdolls me as I expected, pop, 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 scoring his points. Round two, he started slowing down. And then round three, that's when my cardio kicked in, baby.
Yeah.
And that was my time to shine. And then I think if I recall correctly, I pinned him. But it's like in my head, I'm thinking, man, all these people want to see me lose. I'm going to show them, prove them wrong. That's my mindset going into it.
Yeah, that's a great mindset.
For me, it's kind of when you're in training and you're sparring, I do find myself to be a little bit looser. But when I get in front of the people, sometimes I know that I can't tense up. So especially that first round of my fight, I was it wasn't necessarily the nerves. It was just more of, I know I can hit hard, so I want to protrude that power. I want to give that power out. And that was sacrificing speed and telegraphing. And second round, after I sat on the stool, took a breath, got some water, then I was able to loosen up a little bit more and flow more. And Mondo talked about the alter ego. It's something that the greats, they always say that, they always have that mindset and that flip that they switch. So just getting more into that to understand that doing that, you can accomplish certain things mentally because that's the personality of that alter ego. And certain people, psychologically, it's mentioned that if we give somebody an identity, that's something that they will fall into. So if we talk to someone and say, for example, oh, you're really dependable, they're going to try their best to fall into that frame of dependability. So same thing with the alter ego. I try to make that alter ego that person that is going to win and who's going to accomplish and analyze whatever's going and whatever's being thrown at me. So just, it also helps with like becoming more loose. But I know for that first round, I definitely was very constricted.
Yeah.
But just taking a breather and understanding that this is something you do all the time.
Yes.
And now it's just people watching you. So there's really no difference.
Yes, 100%. Just like you guys have all said, it's an alter ego when I go up there in the ring. It's someone that you're really not, you know, that you think that you are, but you know, like I feel like the person that's sitting here, you know, me, and the guy who's, you know, fights, you know, is a complete different person. Different mentality, different this, you know. I fight differently than how I spar. I think you guys see that, you know. I want to do things. See, that's the thing. Like when I'm up in there in the ring, I want to do things that I do here. I want to, you know, we're not going to say much about it, but we don't, you know, you guys haven't seen, you know, what I do here, you know, up in the ring, you know. I feel like I'm just like the guy in my first fight, you know. But that's something that really, I really want to change also, because I do things in the ring that I don't want to do. It ends up looking cool and all that, but it's I want to do other things in the ring. I want to show other things, other skills that I have.
So what do you think? You mean like you're using techniques that you wouldn't normally have chosen in a normal scenario?
100%. Yes. Like I don't want to say too much about it now, but yes, I want to use different techniques. But when it comes to the fight, right when that belt, you know, when the referee, you know, goes like this. He's like, go. Like, it's just a different person than what I want to do. My game plan just switches, you know. You know, I do hear my coaches, and I do things that, you know, they tell me. And that's all I listen to is them. But, you know, I still have that thing that I do that, you know, I fight differently than how I spar here, you know. I want to show different skill sets that I have, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, with the alter ego thing, the way that I've trained myself to do that was, like, the practices and, like, the things I tell myself, right? Like I remember before my fight, I was just telling myself, like, I'm fast, I'm powerful, I was telling myself all these things. And that started probably, like, 2 weeks before the fight actually happened, where I was, like, on my way here, I was just telling myself, like, I am everything that I, like, you know what I mean? Like, just trying to get myself into that kind of mindset. Like, I'm fast, I'm strong, I'm this. And that's really where it built. So then when the fight day came, I was just, like, loose and confident because I believe those things.
Yes.
Because I said them to myself enough times, and even while I was sparring, I was telling myself all these things. So I knew what I was capable of.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that, you know, we all have, you know, before coming in the ring, is that ego, right? We need it for when it comes to fighting. You know, like how Mondo said, you have to win the fight before being in that ring.
Yeah.
That's how I feel already.
Yeah.
I see myself winning already the fight on September 13th. There's many scenarios on how I could win it, but, you know, I believe that I could win, and that's the mindset that we're supposed to have walking towards the ring.
CJ, I remember you telling me something around your competition time, that you were reading something that was like, that's the mindset you have to have, the verbiage you use to refer to yourself kind of determines the outcome in a sense of like.
I know one book that I was reading before the fight was called Relentless. And in the book Relentless, and one of my mentors here at Victory, just really getting into the mindset of the visualization with the fight. Because I know a couple of weeks before my fight, it was more of me taking time to close my eyes, whether it be 5-10 minutes, but just visualize everything. My walk to the ring, when I got to the venue, when the bell first goes off, if I get pressured, my head went through a whole list of things, not necessarily to be worried about them, but just to be aware that they could happen. So even when I stepped into the ring, last fight of the night, I was already kind of like tired, but I stepped in there and I really didn't have any nerves in the ring. Outside of the ring, when I first got there, yeah, they were there. But as soon as I was in there, it was kind of like, okay, all right, it's time to do it. And Sensei Ronnie, he was like, all right, time to wake up. And then I had to start jumping to get myself waking up because the visualization helped so much that it was kind of like this is what I've been trained to do. I know for a fact I did everything that I could. So if I did lose, I wouldn't be mad at myself because I know that I did everything that I could have to win. Mm-hmm. So just the visualization aspect is huge for me.
Yeah. How do you, so you didn't feel an adrenaline dump at all?
It wasn't really I didn't feel that adrenaline dump initially because I initially felt the nerves, but Mike Tyson brought it out, how he was nervous, but then the closer he got to the ring, they kind of dwindled.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what it was for me. The nerves were there. I was wondering how I was going to do. I was seeing the other fights. But then once I was hitting pads before the fight, it was kind of like, okay, I'm feeling good. And then it was more of I wouldn't say an adrenaline jump. It was just more of an activation thing once I stepped into the ring.
Okay.
So I was down. I tried to keep myself calm because I didn't want that adrenaline dump.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So initially keeping myself calm, then I was able to spike it up once, the ref was like, okay, time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I was like, I have cardio, especially when I trained for my fight. I had cardio. And I remember the biggest thing I remembered was like, holy crap, sitting down after that first round, I was like, holy crap, I'm tired. It was just the adrenaline dump, the nerves, the excitement, and then the physical output, it just like completely drained me. That was the biggest thing I remember from that. It was like, holy crap, I'm tired. Yeah, Manu, you were gonna say something?
No, I'll just go off what you said. When I sat down, I was like, yeah, I'm tired, but like, so is the other guy.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and he ate some punches, so.
Keep punching.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I mean, yeah. Like you shouldn't compare yourself, but it's like, look at him over there. You know what I mean? He's pretty beat up and he's tired too. So you got to get back up and just go right back at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even to touch on that visualization again, even we kind of fall into something that we tell ourselves. So that's kind of something that I was kind of trying to avoid, was saying like, okay, I'm tired. So understanding the fact that that's fighting, being tired. Yeah. You're not going to be a spring chicken all the way through. Like, you're going to be tired. So understanding that, and that it was going to come, it was more of okay, when it does come, how would I continue to push forward? How would I fight while I'm tired? How would I keep moving while I'm tired? Mm-hmm. So just understanding that aspect, again, it's just a huge advantage. Especially, again, as Mondo said, looking across the ring and seeing him, you're like, oh, okay, he might be a little bit worse than me. And then you get that little more energy. Yeah. And it's like, all right, we're going to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. So what's the biggest takeaways then that you guys can see or feel, positives, negatives of competing? Because there's people that are hobbyists that never touch competition. Mm-hmm. There's people that train for years, 10, 15, 20 years, and they've never competed. And there's people that all they do, they only train to compete. So what do you guys think is the positives and the negatives of actually stepping in there for competition?
So I think it's a good way to test where you're at compared to other people. I also feel like, I thought I was going to be one of those guys that just trained and just never competed. And then suddenly I just kind of, like a fire just grew in me, and I was just like, I need to see what I can do. Like, competition for me is not really like me against anybody else. It's really just me against myself. Like, I just want to see how good I am, and if I'm just crazy in my head telling myself that that I'm who I am,
Yes. I agree. Well, I have to agree on that, because I feel like doing a whole camp itself, it's crazy, mentally and physically. It doesn't affect you just physically by fatigueness, but it's a bunch of mental stuff that, you got to get through. And that a lot of people don't know about martial arts, until you compete, doing that camp, 2-3 month camp, you're not, as I said, you're not just tired mentally, physically, it's mentally also. You can't be doing things that you were doing, out of camp, like, you can't really hang out with your friends like this and all that, but, a lot changes, you're all of a sudden you're locked in completely. You're training hard, 110% every day, because my master May always told me this, and my dad always told me this. They were like, the hardest part of the fight is just showing up in the gym. You do the hard part here. As long as you put the hard part here, the fight's gonna be easier. Because if you train 110% here, you're not gonna be 110% over there. Maybe you'll be 100%, maybe 85, but that's better than nothing, But yeah, I feel like, just like Hamando said, I didn't know I was gonna fight when I joined Victory, but my dad was like, hey, how does a fight, sound? I did it, and now we're here, but let's see where this takes us,
I think it was from seeing you that inspired me to step into that smoker exhibition match, and because it also had never been on my radar before, because I was like, oh, why would I compete in striking? That sounds bonkers. And then I saw you, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That was really cool. And then I was like, all right, what if I do that?
Yeah.
And then, man, the hardest part for me back then was keeping my body healthy with just food, eating.
Yes.
Remember, the hardest part was chowing down 2 cheeseburgers and a pizza puff at school every day. The training wasn't even like, we trained hard, but that was like the easy part. The harder part is all the behind the scenes stuff. Like you said, the mental game, the eating and making sure your habits are healthy outside of the gym. That's the hard part.
Yep.
Getting enough sleep and all that. That's the hard part.
Getting enough sleep is a tough one.
That is very tough, yes.
It's one of the most underrated things actually too, because it's the most beneficial thing for your body is to get enough sleep. That's one of the hardest ones.
And Eddie mentioned it about, it's just when you start to compete, it's a different level of dedication that you're going to have. So not going out as much, sometimes you may feel like you can go out, but beneficially, it's probably not the best thing for you to do.
No, not the best thing.
So it's like, okay, I could eat this, but should I? No, I shouldn't.
No.
So it's a big thing about just understanding for the fact that anything that you're doing to prepare for the fight, it's not going to be detrimental to you.
Yes.
It's not going to bring you against the wrong or against the way you want to go in life. And if anything, it'll bring you closer there and faster because you're able to understand that dedication about accomplishing certain things. So it's really huge about the dedication, but you might miss out on a couple of things, but in my mind, it's always worth it. It'll be worth it. So.
Yeah, also just we were saying you want to go out and you want to eat this or eat that. I feel like for me, sometimes it's like you said, you eat it, it probably, you'll be fine anyway. But I feel like for me, it's mentally. If I pick that up and I eat it, what am I telling to myself? That I can't say no to something, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where it's at for me, where it's just in my head.
Yep.
Or if I'm that's me losing a promise to myself.
Yep. When was this? A week ago or 2? I told you guys, the whole camp I was eating pretty good, but before practice, what did I have, guys? A bag of
chips.
A bag of chips. And my performance here was terrible. I will tell you guys that. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it was mentally, like Hamando said, I haven't ate donuts. I want to eat donuts. I want to eat all this. I want to eat all that. I want to eat tacos and all that, but I can't. I'm in camp. I need to be completely locked in.
Yeah.
But that one day I slipped. I ate chips.
Yeah.
I felt like crap. I felt terrible.
And then it's crazy because probably that whole training you were just thinking why did I eat those chips?
Why did I eat those chips?
Yeah.
But I also felt those chips.
Yeah.
I did eat the whole bag of chips, which is not.
How big of a bag of chips are we talking about here? Like a small one? Like,
Oh, like a family size.
the family
family size
size?
bag, man. I'm sorry.
like 1,000 calories right
Yeah,
there.
I had a big back moment right there, but you know, it's all right. You know, I slipped up, okay, but I'm back on my diet. You know. Oh, I was talking about this with Denny, you know, before we set up everything. So I was doing this thing where, you know, okay, obviously I'm cutting weight, guys. You know, when was it? Like 2 days ago, I wasn't eating breakfast. And I feel like that really affected me in my training. I wasn't feeling 100% and all. So I was like, okay, I gotta do something. And I'm not cutting weight. I wasn't cutting weight right. The weight wasn't going down. So it turns out, I go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT has been my nutritionist right now. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty good. My weight went from 160 and now it's at 147 right now. I need to go to 135, but the rest is water weight. I'm basically there already.
Yeah.
But that's something I gotta, you know, give props to, you know, ChatGPT for the nutritionist right there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about not eating breakfast. I think it like increases your
Yup.
sugar cravings,
Yeah.
and breakfast is like actually one of the most important meals, especially if you want to stay disciplined for the rest of the day.
What are your guys' like favorite, you know, disciplined breakfast? For
Oh,
you guys?
disciplined breakfast.
Just discipline, you know.
In a perfect
Discipline as in
world,
like clean or something?
Like
that-
clean, yeah.
like you got a fight camp, and this dude.
Yeah,
like,
you're in fight
This
camp,
dude's
yeah.
a monster. Like you need to be in
Yeah,
shape.
you need to be in shape. What are your guys'?
My go-to right now is just Greek yogurt. I get these little chobanis, the
Yeah.
drinkable yogurts, and they make them 15, 20, and 30 gram protein increments. So I usually chug 1 or 2 every morning, and that holds me through at least till lunch. And then I get these protein chips too. Oh, protein chips are delicious.
Oh, yeah.
The what are they called? Quest.
Quest chips,
The
yeah.
chili
Quest
and
chips are
lime.
good. Yup. Ooh, those are good.
I live off of those.
You get the pack.
I get the 10 pack, the 12 pack every week.
Yep. You have to, man. You have to. Gotta get your protein in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so for breakfast, it's usually just like heavy proteins because that's what your body wants first thing in the morning. So, I mean, generously, 5 to 6 eggs, generously. And then if I want more protein, I'll throw usually like spinach, cheese, and you know, Greek yogurt's a really good thing to have in the morning. And sometimes a glass of milk, chocolate milk, if I'm feeling like it.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, yours sounds better than mine. Well, when I'm out of camp, I was obviously bulking. Bulking is not gonna stop. I want to get to 170 after this fight, but when I'm out of camp, it's usually like on a Sunday, steak and eggs, you know, protein shake after, you know, coffee, you know, and obviously eat protein during the day because you want to hit your protein intake, you know. Right now that I'm in camp, I just had chicken strips this morning, coffee, and for lunch I had salmon before this.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, but even with the clean eating, just the I like going to the butcher and getting like a lot of meat and like a lot of steaks and whatnot. So I'll do like a steak, eggs, rice, because I normally do carbs like in the morning rather than like trying to get it throughout the day. Probably carbs in the morning and then carbs before training to get that energy, and some avocado. So it's a decent breakfast. That's good.
That's why he looks like a Greek god when he takes off his shirt. Yeah.
Dude, avocados are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really big on avocados.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm
Really?
sorry.
You gotta get
No,
on it. It's
no.
good. It's good.
Only like sauce, you know, like on the tacos and all. But
You're Mexican, man. We eat
I am, but
avocados.
like just avocados, like
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That?
Yeah.
No,
Dude,
little
you
bit of
cut
salt.
it,
No,
and then
thank
cut
you.
it,
No, mm-mm.
and then you scoop. It's
no,
good.
no. Avocado sauce is fine, but avocados
Some,
itself.
what about
I'm sorry.
guacamole?
Some
Guac-
pink
oh, I love
Himalayan
guacamole.
salt.
Okay, okay, come on now, come on now.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Oh man. All right. So, last little thing here. Favorite memory in martial arts so far? That could be in competition and training and whatever. I'll give you a second to think about it, and then we'll shoot. Unless you got one.
I got one.
ready. Oh, you got
I'm
it.
good,
There
yeah.
you go.
My favorite memory was actually like looking for a gym, to be honest, and finding victory. That is definitely my favorite memory because I looked through gyms around this area and just the vibe wasn't right, okay? I didn't like the vibe there, you know. I came here and How many years has it been? It's 2022. It's 3
Three?
years. 3 years, and you guys are brothers to me. You know, you know, we train hard together, we hang out together. You know, like the vibe was just right at the beginning of being here. You know, everyone just treats you like family here. You know, that is definitely my favorite memory, is finding victory and doing my first class here. And, you know, I haven't stopped, and I'm still here, you know, and I don't plan on leaving. Now, another memory that I like, you know, in the gym is, you know, winning my last fight, or, you know, winning a fight, you know, being on top of the cage, getting your hand raised, you know. I feel like that's a great memory. You know, it just shows that hard work really pays off. I never thought that I would fight, let alone, you know, win bouts and all. And, you know, that really proves, you know, working hard pays off.
Yeah.
I know one for me, it was after my fight, being in the last fight of the night. Right after it happened, right after the hand raise, Eddie spoke about Victory being a family. It was nice to have everybody in the ring, like all Victory family.
That was amazing.
So you know, it was extremely exciting and fun. Yeah, we were all chanting Victory.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a clip from my Meta glasses on
Yep.
on Instagram from that.
That was nice.
That was gonna be my I was gonna say that same experience too. Just being in that ring, the energy, the connectivity of the bonds we have all together. You know, the family, and we all kind of, whenever one of us goes to compete, we all kind of live vicariously through you guys. And seeing you compete, walking in with your mariachi band, and then, you know, putting on a show, and then getting your hand raised. I mean, we all feel it.
Yeah.
We all feel it.
Yeah.
You know, CJ knocking a guy out and then
Yes.
getting your hand raised.
Yes.
We all feel it.
Yes,
You know?
Yeah.
It's just, that's the bond that we have, and
Yeah.
that alone is a beautiful thing.
Yes, exactly. I feel like, you know, obviously when we're in the ring, it's just one person, but it's the whole team actually.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I feel like when I'm in the ring, I feel like we're representing Victory, you know?
Yeah.
And once we get the hand raised up, it's us as Victory, because, you know, you guys are a great part of training camps. And, you know, especially when CJ won, you know, everyone was in the ring. That was an amazing core memory for Victory right there. It's just us chanting Victory and
Taking
seeing
over the
how CJ's hard work paid off,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And Mondo, when he won his last fight too,
Oh yeah.
it was great, you know, like just seeing, you know, hard work pay off. Hard work does pay off, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it's not even just in the ring too. I feel like it's like in daily life. I feel like I'm representing Victory
Yes.
on a daily basis. You know, like I just feel like if you come across somebody from Victory, it's like they're just a good person, and they're just so welcoming and so, you know, helpful, and you know, and I feel like that just speaks to the character of the gym, and you know, the senseis here and everybody that's a part of the team. I feel like we're all just generally good people. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So my favorite memory is always after the fights, after somebody competes or after something. It's like I don't know. When I saw the video of CJ landing his right hook on that dude's face,
Shama.
dude, I was literally Shama, bro.
Yeah.
I was literally like jumping up and down, like no way, dude. Like I was so happy for CJ. I haven't seen him, you know, in forever since then, but I still know, like, you know, we're brothers and everything, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like seeing everybody have a chance to win in here. It's just it really fills my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, like CJ just walked in here like a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Just got a knockout, you know, it all paid off from work.
Yeah.
From putting in work here, you know.
CJ's very dedicated. I mean,
very
he
dedicated.
runs on CJ time, but
He does run on
he might come in late to class, but once
And,
he's here,
and
here
you know,
though.
recording
I'm-
this
I'm
video,
gonna be
he
here.
came late, you know.
As long as he stays late, it's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
he'll be late, but once he's here, he's one of the hardest workers.
He's locked in. Yep.
I'm gonna always show up, always.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys sitting down to have a conversation together. And now that I figured out how to hook up 4 mics, I'll definitely have you guys on another time and,
Sir.
see what nonsense we come up with.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. See ya.
See you guys.